Sometime the adult is there with them, sometime they are not. I know this, our students are not participating in the event other than the posting of the colors. They go, they do their job, and they leave.
Flag.
Even without an adult being there?
Sometimes that occurs without an adult there.
So then if they go to this and there's no adult, they're supposed to leave? The rule is that they have to leave, or they're done, but what if they want to hang around and see what's going on and this and that?
They would make that decision, that's correct.
They make that decision of themselves?
If they were there without an adult supervised, without adult supervision, certainly they could make the decision to stay or leave. They're told you do your job and you leave, but sometime.
And why is it that there's not adult with them at all times when they go to anywhere?
Because many of these events are service events. They are, as you say, children, but they're old enough to drive. They volunteer to go to these. The directors of the ROTC program will ask who's available, who'd like to volunteer. They get credit for attending the posting of the color events. So many of them drive themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you have, I don't know, I mean, that Girl Scouts isn't the right thing, but you always have somebody that's in charge, somebody that is supposed to go.
One of the ROTC individuals will be in charge. They have their rank within internal to the ROTC.
Oh,
And when the 4 of them show up, or the 6 or the 8, whatever they ask for, and Major Johnson gives the approval for that to happen, somebody shows up that night that is in charge of all the young people.
Oh.
And the activity takes place after the presenting of the colors. And 90% of the ones that I have been to, right after the presentation. Sometimes they stay. If it's a benefit where there's food in that, sometimes they're asked if they'd like to have a bite to eat afterwards. But their role is about a 3 to 4 minute exercise in presenting the colors, wherever they're invited to. I do not know about this one. I do not know why Valpo asked Portage to come, unless we are the only ROTC in Northwest Indiana that does this. I don't know.
We're the only ROTC almost in Porter County, you know that.
And so they are asked to go to many events throughout the area.
Yeah, and the supervisor Mr. Hufford's referring to often is a student who's
Yes.
been assigned that.
Did you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, I
that?
understood.
Lead you
Yeah.
and think that that's an adult.
Yeah.
But that's their rank and that's their responsibility.
Okay. Just a question. Thank you.
Good questions.
Can I speak?
Mr. Oprisko?
Yeah. Mr. Burden, about 5 o'clock today, I came home and I seen my wife Cheryl. Cheryl sits on the board. I had a paper a person brought me about this party. As a taxpayer in Portage, I pay nearly $17,000 a year, and probably $13,000 goes to the Portage Township schools. I ask that you go home and that you read the internet and you see this. I could understand going to events for a mayor's ball where you have a bipartisan. Your board is a bipartisan board. It is not a political board. I have a real issue with sending students from the ROTC when it says Portage High School. I would hope that this board would look at this before you vote on it. Thank you.
I have a
Question.
motion on the floor. No, I don't have a question.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If there was not a bipartisan event and it was the Republican Party or the Democratic Party that made the request, would principal supply?
Which they do, I think. I don't think that they go to any Democrat or Republican event that I'm aware of. I mean, the Democrats, I know the Democrats have an event once a year and the ROTC isn't
I'm not going to get in the
there.
middle of this, but you're taking me down the wrong avenue. I could go
wasn't
back
finished
to an
with my-
election
I
within
wasn't
the last
finished with
10
my-
years, and there was a Portage football player
finished.
at
I
every
just got
polling
cut
place
off.
representing a Democratic candidate for office. So don't tell me that it's never happened before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
See, I know a little bit too, Cheryl, of what goes on in Portage. I've been here for 32 years.
What are you talking about?
And I'm just telling you about what goes on at times.
I think it's something that we need to bring up at a discussion meeting, and I think it's
It's going to be too late.
When is the event?
14th, it says right there.
And the discussion meeting is the 21st.
Can we keep him from going, though? That's,
Well, that's, yes, we can if we vote on it. That's what the issue is.
The board, can-
Yes.
if the board were to elect to approve the ROTC not attending that event, you have the authority to do that.
We also have
I
the
wish he
ability
was
to have
here.
a special meeting before the 14th and bring Major Johnson in as...
I would like to hear,
Yes.
I would like to hear from, I can't vote without hearing his side, his rationale, or,
It's got to be a public meeting.
Yeah, special meeting is,
It'll be a public
is that
meeting.
all right with everybody?
That's absolutely all right.
When are we going to have it?
it would have to be next week,
Yes?
starting from the 5th on.
Anytime.
Anytime?
No, not any.
No, I know. Bill said anytime.
Okay.
Mrs. Steckel, your schedule-wise?
I'm on spring break, I'm good, I'm home.
What are you looking at this week?
No,
No, next week?
early next week,
Can we do it on Monday and get it over with?
Monday the 5th?
I would ask for an alternative date in case, if I'm understanding, you want Major Johnson, you want the ROTC
I don't think
leadership
I need
here.
Major Johnson there. I
Well,
don't
I
know why
guess I
we
would,
need him
I
there.
guess the request came to Major Johnson, and he's oversees that hundreds of young people. It might be a good idea just to get this all on the table.
Well, the board needs to tell me, who do you want?
Yeah, but
in
you
the-
want a couple of dates, sir.
And I also need to know who the board wants in attendance at that meeting.
I think Major Johnson should be there.
The major.
The leadership of the ROTC.
Monday's good with me.
Is Monday and Tuesday, would that be something? we could
Tuesday
get
is not good.
to
Tuesday,
Monday
I've
and
already got
Wednesday?
another meeting on Tuesday.
Monday and Wednesday as a
That would work.
backup? No?
Yeah.
Can we say 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock?
You're on spring break. Deb, what good time is for you? Is 3 o'clock good?
3 o'clock's fine.
Linda?
Yes. I mean, in
Mike,
May.
3 o'clock on the 5th or 3 o'clock on the 7th?
Preferably on the 5th.
Preferably on the 5th.
Monday, the 5th,
This is the first Tuesday.
or Wednesday,
Okay, let's go.
the 7th.
Gotta watch that.
And when will we know by?
Mrs. Oness, we need to post that as a public meeting whenever, confirm that with Major Johnson.
Mrs. Onessa, if we could get a call back as soon as we firm
Yes.
one up.
Or
then
email.
Then we would mark it in.
Now, hopefully, tomorrow morning, I'll be able to get information to you.
Will either date be at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
You know, as I'm sitting there listening to this, it just strikes me as a matter of public right to, apparently they have a permit to do this in Valparaiso. What do you do if one of the members believes in the Tea Party?
One of what
Do you
members?
deny them to go?
What member are you talking about?
A member of the ROTC or a